Hi everybody, I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the romantic comedy Geek Loves Punk, and today I wanted to talk about, or tonight, I wanted to talk about the movie Parasite that won the it won like a million Oscars, and it totally deserved it. I saw Parasite in the theater twice in color, and I saw it a third time in black and white at the Castro Theater in San Francisco. So I wanted to talk about why Parasite is such a great movie, and if you haven't seen it yet, you should totally watch it. So yeah, I want to talk about why it's a great movie. Okay, so oh yes, so I saw the poster for Parasite for the longest time, and I just didn't, it didn't quite pique my interest, because I heard the word Parasite, and I thought it was like a B-movie horror film, although I love B-movie horror films, but I thought it was about like this little bug that tries to like eat you or something, you know, like a parasite. And then one of my favorite YouTubers, Grace Randolph, she's one of my favorite YouTubers. She gave the movie a glowing review, but she also said really what the movie is about is the tension between rich people and poor people. So, the minute she said that, I was like, oh, I'm in, I want to see it. So, the one thing I really like about the movie Parasite, it is technically, well, there's a lot of things I like about Parasite, but it is technically a horror film, and I like that. I like it a lot, because with the genre of horror, I took a class in college called American Horror, and we read books and watched movies, horror books, H.P. Lovecraft, that kind of thing, Stephen King. Then we watched movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, those kind of movies. And then we just analyzed them and studied them, and it was a great class. So what I like about what we talked about in that class was how horror films they explore kind of like the evil or negative or gnarly, if you will. They explore the gnarly aspects of society. And the other thing about horror films, everything gets amped up a little bit because it's a movie. So in my opinion, Parasite is a true horror film, and I love it. I love that you could call it a genuine horror film. And there's this new genre. I was at a comic book convention back in November, and there's this new genre of horror. It's called social horror. And so that's what the movie Get Out would be called, social horror. And also that's what Parasite would be called. So Parasite's definitely a horror film, but the thing that got me, one of my favorite things about it, and that's what the whole movie's about, it's the tension between rich people and poor people. People who have lots and lots and lots of money, and people who don't have tons of money at all. There's not necessarily, in my opinion, good guys or bad guys, or honestly, I could talk like an hour about this movie. I have talked to friends about it for hours. But okay, but the one thing I really like about the movie is the subject matter. It does talk about the tension between rich people and poor people, and that's something that does interest me, because I did grow up poor, but then I've moved out here to the San Francisco Bay Area, and I've met a lot of affluent people, and in a way, it can be quite the mind fuck, excuse my language, just seeing like how much more people can have than others. And I'm not necessarily criticizing that. Actually, I'm not criticizing that at all, because I'd like to have more abundance in my life as well. It's more just that the juxtaposition of it. I moved to the Bay Area, and I was kind of shocked. Culture shock. And the main thing I was culture shocked about was like, wow, there are people in this world who really just have so much money. And there's no judgments about that. But a lot of my friends who move out here to Northern California from other places like Indiana or North Carolina, they've noticed the culture of it, and they're like, wow, this is different. And I was like, yeah, oh, it's totally different. It's not bad, it's just different. All right, so the thing I like about Parasite is it does deal with the tension between rich people and poor people. The second thing it does is it deals with the burden of being poor. And so because it's a horror film, my understanding of South Korea, I've never been there before, but I've watched K-pop, I don't know. But my understanding of South Korea is that it is a first world country. It's a developed country, right? So in this developed country, the same as USA, right? It's a first world country. So here in this first world country, you see how people with not tons of money are living, and it's tough. You know what I mean? So so you see the burden of being poor. So the poor family, they just have a tough go of it. Their living circumstances are just tough. And they live in a basement. The basement comes with a smell. And the character, and you don't, I'm not one to point fingers or blame, but you see the father, for whatever reason, that's the situation they're in. But so you see the father and how he really wants to take care of his family. He's just poor. And then you see the son. And the son really also feels the burden of, well, he's got to help. He's got to help out the family and try to help the family out. Help them get out of this situation of being poor. So you see the burden of being poor. I grew up poor, but I grew up poor in Virginia, small town Virginia. So my living circumstances weren't as tough as the family in Parasite. But just knowing, like, the other thing with being poor, because I didn't grow up with a lot of money, there's just a lot of shame that comes with it. And you see that in the poor family in Parasite, a little bit of shame that can come with just not having enough. Okay, so the third reason I like Parasite is that some of the characters in the movie are good, and some of the characters in the movie are bad. And I really like that, in the sense that sometimes the poor people, they're being mean. They're being jerks. And I empathize with their living situation, because that's tough. And I grew up poor, and I know it's tough to grow up poor. It just is. But there's moments in the movie where the poor family, they're being mean, they're being manipulative, and because it's a horror film, what I like about it is they can explore how people can be mean. And then with the rich family, the wife, the housewife, she's lovely, and they did a good job. I liked the house. So the rich wife, essentially, there's a rich wife, and she's sweet and she's kind and she really loves her children. That's very endearing, and that, like, everything she's doing in the movie, it's to support and love her children. And she's not necessarily she's a good person. She's wealthy, and she's perhaps oblivious to I guess socioeconomic inequality, but she, I would call her one of the good guys in the movie for sure. Her husband, on the other hand, the rich dad, he's kind of a jerk. But what I liked in the movie, that sometimes the poor people are being jerks, sometimes the rich people are being jerks, sometimes the poor people are being kind, sometimes the rich people are being kind. There's just a lot of nuance in the movie that I really, really liked. But what I did want to say was, so those are 3 reasons I like the movie. The last thing I wanted to say, because there's so much you could say about Parasite, but the other reason I like it, the final reason, basically, it's a tough movie because basically, what is the solution? Like, how do you solve socioeconomic inequality? Like, how do you solve it? Do you want to solve it? You know what I mean? Do you believe poor people deserve to be poor? Ouch. I don't believe that. I just don't believe in I don't believe in that philosophy at all. I believe we should all help each other. But I'm not a politician. And I'm not good at talking about politics. I just know I grew up Baptist, and we were taught to be kind and loving and caring and take care of people. Like, that's what I taught. That's what I learned at the teeny tiny little Baptist church I grew up in. It was all about loving and being kind and people taking care of each other or helping each other out. That's the religion, spirituality I grew up in. But the one thing about the movie, though, is just the pain of seeing how little the poor people have and how much the rich people have. And one thing that in the movie, they never, because like once the rich people hired the poor people to work for them, you know, the way they indicate it is they are paying the poor people really well. So that's a good thing. They're paying them really well. Because I've had jobs like that where I was a caregiver for the elderly, or I was basically in a service industry type situation where some of those jobs I was not paid well, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating a fact. But other situations I was paid very well where I was a caregiver for the elderly. So it just depended on the situation. And the only reason I would care about, I'm not trying to be a millionaire being a caregiver, but the only reason I care about making enough was I just wanted to make enough money to pay my rent and pay my bills, that kind of thing. I'm not trying to get rich being a caregiver. Okay, anyway, so, but anyway, what's tough about the movie is the poor people have so little and the rich people have so much. And one thing I think they do is good. They do provide jobs, and they do pay them. The way they indicate it is they pay them really well. They pay them overtime. I mean, so that's a good thing for sure. Like they're paying him very well. But the other thing is that, with the rich people, you never really see them in the movie like volunteering at a soup kitchen or raising money for homeless shelters or giving food to a food bank. Like in the movie, you never see them do anything to kind of just help people out in general. And they have so much capacity to help. You do see them hire the poor family and hire them at a very high wage, and that's great. But you don't necessarily see them doing anything to help the situation in general in society. And I don't know, for me, since I'm a filmmaker, I do have ambition. I do want to do well in life, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm doing great right now. No complaints. I hope they find a vaccine for the coronavirus like tomorrow, but no complaints. And I'm keeping everyone in my prayers, especially victims of the coronavirus, for sure. Everyone on the front lines is in my prayers. But I have ambition in life, and I'd love to have a little more abundance in life, that kind of thing. But if I'm ever in a position where I have like just oodles and oodles of money, like the rich people in Parasite, I'm gonna do my part to help people as much as I possibly can. Because I kind of feel like that's what I should be doing. Or I guess that's just my Baptist upbringing. But anyway, my little countrified Baptist upbringing is that you help people and you do good unto others, right? So the movie's interesting that there's no good guys, there's no bad guys, and the last most interesting thing is about Parasite is there's this giant rock in the movie, and basically the rock, in my opinion, represents like the burden of money, the burden of having to have enough. And the son, he's always carrying around this big rock. And the way the movie ends, spoiler alert, but it ends on his face, basically. And he talks about how he says, I'm not going to care about getting married. I'm not going to care about romance. I'm not going to care. And he says, I'm only going to care about making enough money to help his dad out. And basically it represents the burden of, and it's not to say money doesn't buy you happiness. And if you Google what happens to lottery winners, you can see like money by itself just doesn't buy happiness. And then Google lottery winners and see what happens to them, because some of them die. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but so money by itself doesn't buy happiness. But excuse me. But anyway, the way it ends with him saying he's going to do everything he can. Already he's feeling the burden that the only thing that matters in life for him is earning money. And that's kind of heartbreaking, and it's a little soulless, but you get why that's that's how he ends. That's the lesson he learned, that the only thing that matters is making enough money to help his dad. And it's like the burden of that and the heartbreak of that. And I do want to say, since I don't know much about South Korea, but since South Korea is a first world country, you know, one of my friends said, oh, he's never going to make it. He's never going to make the money. And I respectfully disagree with my friend. It's not to say the poor son can't make it in life, that he can't acquire abundance. I do believe he can. I still believe in the American dream, or in this case, the South Korean dream. I still believe in that, but the world dream. The only thing is for him, though, because he doesn't quite have he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. One of the jobs he has is folding pizza boxes. So he's gonna have to fold a lot of pizza boxes, like a lot of pizza boxes. He's gonna have to fold a lot of pizza boxes. He's just gonna have to hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle, and he's gonna have to hustle like 50 times more harder than the rich kids in the movie, who are all very sweet too. All the kids in the movie are really sweet. But he's gonna have to hustle like 50 million times harder than the rich kids, just because of the place in society that he was born into. So I think he's gonna make it. I think he's gonna reach that abundance. He's just gonna have to work really, 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 really hard for it. So the burden of it, the burden of needing that abundance so he can take care of his dad. So yeah. So anyway, I thought the movie Parasite was really, really good, and those are the reasons why I really liked it. And you guys should totally watch it. But Parasite is a horror film. One of my friends, I saw it with a group of friends, and one of my friends walked out stunned, like he, like he was seriously like, I think it like freaked him out. It's definitely a horror film. It's social horror, but for sure. So brace yourself if you're gonna go see it, or see it streaming, or I don't know how it's all movie theaters are closed right now. But anyway, for sure see it. It's a thinker. It makes you think. It's very well done. Great movie. And yeah, I thought the director, Bong Joon-ho, he did a really great job. My friend who speaks Korean, she said that's how you're supposed to say his name. Okay, anyway, so hopefully I said that right. Okay, alright, so definitely go see the movie Parasite. It's a great movie. And tell me below, what did you guys, gals, folks, what did y'all think of Parasite? Alright, thanks so much. Love y'all. God bless. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you loved it. I hope you had a great time. If you absolutely loved the video, subscribe to my channel and click the like button and click the bell button and just go bananas, and you can enjoy more awesome videos that I made for you. Okay, now also, if you'd like to experience a really funny, awesome, amazing romantic comedy that's 90 minutes and that makes you like think thoughts and stuff, then mosey on over to my website. The link is down below this video. It's www.juliekerr.studios.com, and that's where you can exclusively experience the awesome, the amazing, the fantastic, the funny romantic comedy that I directed called Geek Loves Punk. Also, if you would like to join my email list, that would be super awesome. If you join my email list, you immediately get free access to a PDF worksheet that I created and designed, and you also get a video that helps you learn how to use that worksheet. So I grew up in an abusive home as a child. As an adult, I'm doing great. I mean, look at me. Anyway, so what I designed was, I really got into personal development, and because I grew up in an abusive home, I used to deal with a lot of sadness. But now I'm doing quite well. So I created a PDF that gives you the 5 daily tips, 5 daily habits that I do every day to feel good every day, to feel love, joy, and kindness every day. So if you join my email list, you immediately get access to the PDF, the Love, Joy, and Kindness PDF, and the video that accompanies with it, that shows you how to use all the habits in the worksheet. So if you join my email list, you can go to my website to join my email list, or see the link below on how to join my email list. And finally, if you'd like to leave a comment below or ask me any questions you might have about filmmaking, personal development, anything in the world, my favorite color, whatever interests you, I'd be happy to answer any questions or comments you have below. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're having the best day, night, week, year ever, and you're awesome. Be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and be your own best friend. Okay, love y'all, and talk to you later. God bless.